Whatever you do, do with all your heart. I stumbled across this the other day in a fortune cookie all while researching this video, and even though it was quite a coincidence, it got me really thinking even more about this topic. The heart tends to be associated with love, passion, and even compassion, but that's quite bizarre. I mean, most of us realize that the heart doesn't actually induce love, but even with that said, most of us tend to associate it with love through cultural and linguistic norms. I feel that this oversimplifies something that is rather complex, and I dare say because of that it makes it hard to understand and define love, much more so than it has to be. So let's look at the history, culture, and science and see if we can find if the heart truly has anything worth listening to. The oldest well-documented instance of this concept is by Aristotle, a man who lived about 2,300 years ago. He designated different organs to be the seats of specific emotions, for example, the heart being the seat of love. Though he goes on to say that the spleen is the seat of anxiety, that the lungs are the seat of sadness, and that the kidneys, more specifically the adrenal gland, is the seat of anger. Though I am yet to hear someone say that they hate me with all their kidney, but I have heard people say that they love someone with all their heart. Now, of course, all of that is wrong, and it should be noted that people typically don't credit Aristotle for his scientific accuracy. But that wasn't always the case. In the medieval period, the Christians and more so the Muslims invested a lot of time into preserving Aristotle's works and respected them quite a bit. The Abrahamic religions use this basic construct in a symbolic way, such as giving your heart to God. Obviously not literal, but more so affiliated with the concept of loving the Creator. And being that Christianity and Islam are arguably the most influential religions on earth, it's not hard to believe that the cultures and languages that were affiliated with them were heavily influenced by them, in turn adopting the concept of the heart being a place where love is. Even the modern symbolic shape of the heart that we have today can be traced all the way back to the medieval period. When we take modern cultures into consideration, it's not hard to see how these are so prevalent today. Out of probably thousands of television shows and movies that I've watched, including all the books that I've read, I'm yet to see any of them casually associate love with anything but the heart. Some even make the effort to point out the heart's interaction with love. If we were to take a moment to look at English itself, we can see that specific words were actually formulated around this construct. Kind-hearted, cold-hearted, disheartening, half-heartedly, broken-hearted, sweetheart, wholeheartedly, and the list goes on. This makes it clear that it's a cultural and linguistic problem, making it hard to take a scientific approach at explaining it due to the limited language and the association that the heart already has with specific words. We associate so many different types of love with one word. But my love for tacos is different than my love for my parents, which is different than the love I would have for a girlfriend. But we go on to associate them with one word, or one organ at that matter. All because it's easy. Simple, even though different things are going on in your brain for each different type of love that you are feeling. Because if love is something you feel in the heart, then I absolutely love eating spicy burritos as fast as I can. Because I'll tell you what, that makes my heart burn with an unbelievable passion. But it's due to this lack of insight that English and many other languages have developed and intertwined the idea of the heart being a place of love and inducing love. Even though we understand the science behind it, our old culture and language make it very hard to express love in a casual way accurately. But I also see people who are giving very rational and logical advice laugh it off and ignore it because it's not what they perceive love as truly being. It seems that so many cultures on Earth associate love with being something magical rather than biological, something non-physical rather than something very physical, made possible by hormones interacting with lobes in our brain, making us feel specific ways. So here's the science. Love is only made possible due to hormones interacting with lobes in your brain. Love doesn't just come out of the blue, it's a product of two separate entities. The limbic system, for the most part, regulates how much along with which hormones to secrete, only doing so after being stimulated by your senses or even your thoughts and memories. Hormones then enter the lobes, which act as reward centers. When they are rewarded, you feel good. It's a pretty simple concept. There is no single lobe in charge of love. but rather a bunch of lobes all working together in order to induce different types of love, such as previous examples, food, family, significant others, and even activities, showing that there's a massive variety of different types of love, all sharing the same word. Some lobes of particular importance are the pituitary gland, the prefrontal cortex, the amygdala, the hippocampus, and one in particular being the ventricle tegmental area, also known as VTA for short. It works with perceiving pleasure. In a sense, the VTA is most likely the best lobe to represent what we linguistically and culturally credit the heart for in terms of love. It's also in charge of dopamine pathways. Dopamine, along with norepinephrine and oxytocin, are three hormones that are deeply involved in what makes love possible. Dopamine triggers the reward system. It motivates you and rewards you when you commit yourself to your cravings and desires. It can be stimulated due to being with that special someone or even eating that amazing taco. Another hormone being norepinephrine, which gets your body motivated. Norepinephrine gets the heart pumping and gets all these hormones through your body quite fast. It's also responsible for the flight or fight response, a response that typically slows down cognition and rational thought. The last major one being oxytocin, a hormone that builds connections. It's typically achieved through sex or breastfeeding, and it helps us calm down and relax and feel satisfaction. And when you're experiencing love through these hormones, other hormones that induce stress and pain tend to be much less active during these stages. This also helps us understand the process known as a broken heart. And that's basically when your VTA is going through withdrawals because it's not getting the chemicals it's been getting through your love. Brain scans of people who are under the influence of cocaine have shown that the activity within their brain is almost identical to someone who is experiencing deep, intense love. And just like a person who is withdrawing due to the fact that they are not under the influence of cocaine, you will find people withdrawing due to the fact that they are not in the relationship or experiencing whatever it was that gave them that extreme high from all the hormones that they were receiving from it. But this begs the question, is romantic love nothing more than a rewards system that we satisfy each other with? Is romantic love truly a connection between each other, or is it just a clever system that our bodies have developed over time that managed to make us mate with each other? Yeah, I know, that pretty much sucks all the romance right out of it, doesn't it? But I dare say that the most romantic part out of all this is that we as humans have organs and processes in our brain that are specifically there so that way we do love someone. That way we are rewarded when we are with a significant other that it deems is worthy of those rewards. Though we don't get to choose what it says we should like, we can live with it. But the very fact that it's there just shows that we as humans are meant for companionship, and I think that's amazing. So, should you listen to your heart? Well, unless it's for health reasons, no, probably not. Should you listen to your VTA? Well, in part, yeah, because that is where you're gonna find satisfaction in a relationship in terms of what your body demands. But the other half truly should be actual compatibility at an intellectual level. Because to me, when people just say listen to your heart, they're basically telling you just let your emotions and your hormones control the decisions you make. Hence why I value an intellectual relationship where I like the person for who they are and not what I am stimulated by solely. Because I find that relationships that do tend to work out through the toughest of times tend to be intellectual relationships. So my question for you guys is, what do you think about the concept of the heart being culturally and linguistically representative of where love comes from? Do you think we should try to remove it or just keep it the way it is, or try to find some middle ground? What do you think? And with all that said and done, my name's Dale, this is ThingFact, and remember, never stop learning. Thank you. If you like this video, please subscribe to stay in tune for more videos over the facts and thoughts that almost everybody missed.